Once upon a time there was a young girl named Flora who lived in a small village surrounded by forests and fields. Flora loved exploring the area around her home, especially the forest just beyond her backyard. One warm spring day, Flora decided to pack a picnic lunch and spend the afternoon wandering through the lush woods. As Flora walked along the winding dirt path, she breathed in the sweet floral scents and listened to the birds happily chirping in the treetops. Wildflowers in shades of purple, yellow, and white peeked out from the tall grasses along the trail. Flora smiled as a fluttering butterfly landed lightly on a flower nearby. She loved this time of year, when all the plants and animals seemed to come to life after the long winter. After walking for some time, Flora came across a small pond at the base of a rocky hill. She decided this would be the ideal spot to stop and eat her picnic lunch. As she ate, Flora watched tadpoles wriggle through the shallow water while dragonflies zipped back and forth. Full and content, Flora lay back in the soft grass and gazed up at the clouds drifting slowly across the bright blue sky. Feeling sleepy in the warm sunshine, Flora's eyes slowly closed and she drifted off to sleep. She dreamed that she was standing in the same forest, but everything looked different. The trees and plants were dressed in rich autumn colors, bright oranges, warm yellows, deep reds, and burgundies. How strange, thought Flora. It was just spring a moment ago. Crunching through the fallen leaves covering the trail, Flora continued deeper into the woods. She gasped as she stumbled upon a clearing full of the most peculiar sights. Plump squash and pumpkins grew from the ground while corn stalks swayed in the breeze. Crows cawed from an old scarecrow amidst the field, and leaf-filled bales of hay were stacked high. Flora couldn't believe her eyes. While puzzling over the mysterious shift in seasons, a rumbling from the clouds above startled Flora. She glanced up to see dark storm clouds gathering. As rain began to fall, Flora quickly sought shelter under a large oak tree. Huddled beneath its branches, she watched as the wind whipped through the trees, scattering leaves in spirals of red and gold. Before long, the wind died down and the rain ceased. When Flora emerged from under the oak, she was amazed to see everything covered in a fresh blanket of powdery white snow. How can it be winter now? Flora wondered. The peaceful forest was still and silent in its icy slumber. As Flora tromped through the snow, the bright moonlight illuminated her path. The stars and moon shone brightly on this cold, clear night. Looking up, Flora was delighted to see bright flashes of green light dancing across the dark sky. "The northern lights," she exclaimed. Flora was mesmerized by the magical flickering display. After the spectacular light show ended, Flora began to feel very sleepy again. She found a cozy, sheltered spot beneath a pine tree and curled up in its needled branches. Surrounded by the soft white snow, Flora's eyes fluttered closed once more. When she woke, rays of sunshine were streaming through the trees again. Flora popped up to find herself sitting in the lush green forest she recognized. The air was warm and birds were singing merrily in the trees. It must have all been a dream, Flora thought. Just then, a colorful butterfly fluttered by and landed on the wildflower next to her. Flora laughed with delight, feeling right at home again. After her magical dream journey through the seasons, Flora felt especially grateful for the natural world around her. She happily finished her picnic lunch by the pond and spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the spring forest and all its wonders. When she finally wandered home later that day, Flora decided that even an ordinary forest can be full of magic and adventure if you just take the time to look.